horror comedy by the Kai. But yeah, they did it. I think it's my favorite of their movies they've done. And then if you haven't seen it, it's celebrating its 10th anniversary this year, so they're releasing it on 4K, and they're re-releasing it back into the movie theaters for its 10th anniversary. So that's fucking awesome. But yeah, Paranorman, if you haven't checked it out. And then my next couple of recs are video games. I've been playing Metal Health Slinger. It's a rhythm first-person shooter. It follows a demon trying to get her voice back, which was taken by the devil. It's narrated by award-winning actor Troy Baker and features vocals on tracks specially made for the game by Serge from System of a Down, Matt from Trivium, the lead singer of Dark Tranquility, the lead singer of Soilwork, the lead singer of Arch Enemy, and a shit ton of more. The fucking music is dope as shit. And it's rad. I don't know if you've heard of it.
No.
It came out a couple weeks ago. It's rad because it's basically fucking Doom, but you have to shoot on beat. And if you don't shoot on beat, your score isn't going to be as high, and your attacks aren't going to hit as hard as it would. So you have to shoot and like swing on beat.
Wow.
And as you're shooting on beat and as you're swinging on beat, the music gets like more of the music starts playing and it starts getting louder. But yeah, check it out. It came out on PS5, PS4, Xbox One, and if you have the Game Pass for Xbox, it's for free. So that stopped me from paying. I think it's like $39.99 on PlayStation. But yeah, it's dope. And I didn't even know about it until I saw like a random post about it. And I checked it out. I was like, holy shit, it's dope. Check it out. And then for my last rec is another video game, also on Xbox Game Pass called Immortality. It's an interactive film video game about an actress who made 3 movies that were never released. She goes missing, and you have to find clues on what happened to her and like how she went missing through the scenes of the actual movies.
Wow. Immortality?
Yeah. I believe it's on, I want to say it's also on other platforms, but it's on the Xbox Game Pass.
Gotta check it out, man. That's right up my alley.
Yeah, dude, it's dope. I played a little bit of it today, and it kicked ass. But yeah, that's what I got for my recs. What do you got for us?
The only new thing that I've watched lately is, and it just came out yesterday, I checked out the highly controversial Blonde film.
Oh, yeah. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, first and foremost, gotta give some love to Ana de Armas. She is amazing in this. Very, very believable. She looks like she put her heart and soul into the character, and my takeaway is, if you're gonna watch it for her, because she is fucking brilliant. However, the movie is 2 hours and 47 minutes long, which seems very, very generous, and it's super art house, which is gonna, I feel like, turn some people away. It's shot and kind of edited, stylized, like fragments of her life. And the only thing that was kind of has me on the fence about like loving the movie itself is that it's very, very depressing. Like to the point where it's kind of wallowing in all the negativity of this woman's career, and it, and a lot of it is embellishments, and it's based on this book that is considered fiction, where they're working they're working around historical events, and certain things did take place, but then there's a lot of stuff that are put in there that it's not real, and the movie's okay. It's very long. I probably need to watch it again to figure out if I really liked it or not, but it's just it's a lot to absorb, I guess. But Ana de Armas she killed it for sure.
Yeah, that's all I haven't seen it, but that's all I've been hearing is that if anything, she like you said, she's worth the watch. And honestly, I haven't heard anything good about anything else.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen tons of movie critics just ripping it to shreds. And then of course it's the first Netflix. It's a milestone in Netflix history because I think it's the very first Netflix original to be slammed with an NC-17 rating. And when I watched it, there's a scene, there's a threesome that happens, but it's not very graphic. There's like a fellatio thing that happens. Again, everything's hidden. It's stylized in the way that you would think it would be hit with just a rated R, picture, especially because we all know that, Marilyn Monroe had a very kind of, how do you say, like, controversial past. So the stuff I was seeing didn't necessarily like shock me or anything. I have to say that I think that the MPAA slapped this with the, pretty much an X rating because it touches on abortion and miscarriages and stuff of that nature, and it's pretty graphic about it. But it's like, yo, really? Like, you're gonna give this movie an NC-17 because of that? I don't know. Yeah. It's really weird, but I didn't really find anything that was super, because I feel like when you think about NC-17, it's almost like, oh yeah, this is like pretty much like pornographic material. Yeah. And this is not. It's not, in my opinion. It's not. So that's confusing. I would say check it out. If you're listening to this, check it out and let us know whether you liked it or you didn't. But definitely, I was a fan of Armas's portrayal because you have to think about that's a lot of weight on somebody's shoulders to try to tackle such a one of the most famous women of the 20th century.
Yeah, I'm sure it took a lot out of her to do that.
Did you ever watch the one, I forget the title of the film, but a few years back, Michelle Williams took a stab at Marilyn Monroe as well. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now for the movie focus of the week.
All right, so the main focus brought to you by our man, Ryan. We're talking about The Exorcist this week. It's rated R. It's from 1973. It's a horror thriller. Runs at 2 hours and 12 minutes. And it's got a 84 on Rotten. Written for the screen by William Peter Blatty. Directed by William Friedkin. And starring Linda Blair, Ellen Burstyn, Jason Miller, and Maxa von Sydow. The film follows the deterioration of a family as a mother fights to save her daughter from demon possession. As things increasingly get worse, she soon hires 2 priests to help carry out an exorcism. It goes without saying that the original Exorcist is a film that changed the course of horror in movies in general, from its conflicted production, which resulted in several injuries and a mysterious fire that made the shoot and budget nearly double in time and money. Tensions were high, with the rocky relationship between director Friedkin, writer Blatty, and the executives at Warner Brothers, who were all opposed to the cast being relatively unknowns at the time. Being released in the early 70s, no films had dared to step into this kind of taboo subject matter, shedding a light on both possession and the reality of exorcisms. Ultimately, the project created its own subgenre upon its release, and the film leaned into its negative controversy by publicizing the negative effects the film had on moviegoers, which only made its impact that more impressive. Being made for a budget of $12 million, The Exorcist has made an estimated $441.3 million since its release on December 26th, 1973. I can't recommend this film enough. Check it out via HBO Max now. 5 out of 5 crucifixes. Thank you.
Very good, dude. Very good.
All right, man. So, even though I already know this answer, what's your attachment to this, classic film, and do you remember what was your reaction to it the first time you saw
it? So I saw this movie kind of late, actually. I think I was already like maybe 14, 15 years old, because of my mom just trying to keep me away from it for so long. Her being like the big Catholic and me being raised Catholic, she always kind of like, stay away from that movie. If I'm telling you right now, stay away from one thing, it's that. So I think that's why I stayed away from it for so long. The first time I saw it, I think I was like, me and my friends had just, one of my friends had a DVD of it, and we popped it in one night, and I'm pretty sure like the rest of us and you, like, it scared the shit out of me. I remember us just all being fucking terrified and like not knowing what to do or say the entire time. Just super awkward. But yeah, man, it's just one of those movies that it like you need to take a shower after. Like it just sticks with you, and the imagery and everything about the movie just stays with you for a while. And I remember the first time seeing it, it made me kind of like queasy. Like I wanted to fucking throw up. And it's just from what you like, it's not even like super, I mean, it is graphic, but more of like the stress and the stress mixed with the imagery just eats away at your what the hell, what word am I looking for? It just fucked up. And you can't look away from it. And the reason why I wanted to do it, I think it's a movie that, like you said in your monologue, it changed the course of horror. There's movies throughout the timeline of film that things changed after it, and this is definitely one of them. I was talking to Sandy today, and if someone gave me a time machine, I think I wouldn't want to go see any other historical anything in time. I would go and see opening night, either this or Psycho, and it would probably be this because of everything I've read about what happened in those showings, in the opening weekend. But yeah, dude, what about you?
I'm pretty much in the same boat as you, where I was, obviously I'm a deeply rooted guy as far as pop culture and horror, but this is one that I just couldn't get my hands on until later in life. So I think that I finally was able to buy the director's cut of The Exorcist, which adds in a bunch of great stuff, by the way. And I loved it, but for the fact that it's like I've said time and time again on this show, there's once you've watched movies, once you consume movies the way that you and I do, it takes a lot as far as storytelling to really move you in the way of being disgusted or truly frightened to your core. And The Exorcist is one of those movies that until I die, it's going to haunt me. And I just respect it so much for that reason. And much like your story, my parents kept me away from it, you know, during my early years, because they grew up in, you know, hearing all of the urban legends and stuff that happened around when it came out. And even my grandparents